Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Honorable President, for having us here. I would like to start by presenting my opponent, Alex Oliveras. I'm sure she will give a very reasonable argument and that she will be very convincing with her emotion. Let me preface this by saying that Erasmus is not only a study abroad program, it's also a life-changing journey. Let me begin with the first reason Erasmus is essential. Erasmus provides experience of diverse cultures and lifestyles. In today's interconnected world, different perspectives are a must for personal and professional growth. Also, we need to foster harmony and global connection, cooperation also. A student who only has experienced their hometown and they have only lived and haven't moved from there doesn't have a full perspective of the world view. Erasmus allows this bubble to break, and it allows people to interact with different backgrounds and return home with a broader view. Also, cultural immersion allows students to learn empathy, tolerance, and global citizenship. Next, employers nowadays value international experience as a pregnancy pool. A student who has participated in Erasmus demonstrates adaptability, communication skills, and also eagerness to step outside their comfort zone. And those are traits that are highly sought in employers nowadays. Erasmus doesn't just create better students, it also creates future professionals that are able to tackle different challenges in a new and a more global way. Also, Erasmus alumni have higher employment rates than people who stay local. Speaking of challenges, living abroad forces students to face different types of challenges that they never faced. For example, moving around a new city, managing their finances in maybe a different currency, and also overcoming language barriers. These experiences build resilience and create problem-solving skills, and which are invaluable for both professional and personal life. It also is a transformative experience that creates confidence and independence. Moreover, immersion is the best way to learn a language, so students of Erasmus can experience this in a more personal way, for example, ordering food in Italy, talking about politics in Germany, or even just studying English in their university. Also, in our multilingual globalized society nowadays, learning a second or even a third language is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. And Erasmus prepares students for this reality and making them effective communicators. Erasmus also fosters connections with peers, professors, and even future colleagues. These friendships can be a lifelong friendship or professional collaborations. Imagine the advantages that it could have knowing people across from Europe or even the world when launching a business, conducting research, or even just seeking new opportunities. These relationships are enriching as the academic experience. Also, it's more important to underline that Erasmus is funded by the European Union and is designed to be accessible for everyone. Financial support is provided and ensures students that can access this international experience without having to pay a hefty price tag. And finally, Erasmus isn't just about personal growth, it is also about fostering unity, about promoting a sense of union between European people, and it encourages collaboration and is an antidote to division, and a first-hand experience of cooperation and shared humanity. So to summarize, more than just an academic exchange program, is a life-changing experience, all culturally, personally, and professionally, that gives tools to thrive in a complex, interconnected world. So can we afford to deny these students this formative opportunity? I think not. Erasmus should be a must-have experience, ensuring that the next generation is equipped with tools so that they can build a better, more inclusive future. I urge you to vote in favor of this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Sagasti. I look now to Alexia Olivares to close the case for the opposition and the debate as a whole. So now, the floor is yours.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the audience, and Madam President. It is my greatest honor to be standing here representing the opposition in today's debate as the opposition. I'd like to first thank the Speaker of the opposition, Ayane Sagasti, for introducing and presenting the optimistic views she has of the motion at hand. Now, this House wishes to make its statements clear. While some of the arguments of the proposition may hold some truth to them, they ignore the complexity of the motion at hand. I fundamentally disagree with the idea that Erasmus is a must-have experience for all students. To put it simply, I think it's quite a reductionist approach to it. By presenting Erasmus as necessary feature for academic journey, it takes away the choice of the students to decide what they think they should do. Also, this is a motion that fails to adequate to the complexities of the reality of the students. One of the most significant issues is the blatant financial disparity between the students. This program often favors already privileged students, as not everyone can afford to sustain themselves financially for the duration of the exchange. Even if some of the costs are covered by the academic institution. I will argue that it will be difficult to have enriching experience if the primary concern is how to manage the limited budget. Now, I don't dispute that visiting another country is a prime way to broaden one's horizons, but to pose it as the only way to achieve those experiences is just very narrow-minded. Interacting with people from different backgrounds, for example, is not something that can only be achieved by going abroad. And such a perspective dismisses the value of engaging with local challenges and the diverse communities already existing within their own environment. It also perpetuates the idea that everything worth pursuing is always abroad, like always out of reach, and it's not something that promotes the idea that there is valuable things in one's own country. Leaving that aside, the truth is that not everyone wants to spend time abroad in an academic context, and by positioning Erasmus as a necessary part of the academic life, students are being pressured to go through it just to fit in or just to not miss on that part that they deem necessary for their academic journey. And that distracts them from actually pursuing what aligns with their own goals. Furthermore, while living abroad might help some students to gain a new sense of independence and resilience and self-sufficiency, it might not be beneficial for everyone, as people react differently to the same situations depending on their social and cultural backgrounds. For example, the challenges of navigating a new city, overcoming language barriers, and managing their own finances can increase the levels of stress and anxiety they face, potentially hindering their academic performance. Some students might feel more comfortable managing everything on their own, while some others are more used to rely on their inner circle. And it just seems unfair to dismiss the value of those who can function as well in isolation, since community building is just as important of a skill as independence. Additionally, this discrimination between those who can handle the program and those who can't directly contradicts the supposed unity that this program fosters among students. But moving on to another point, and to address the argument of language acquisition made by the proposition, while it's true that exposure to different languages is certain, it does not guarantee language mastery for every student, as learning a language is more than just being exposed to it. Learning a language requires consistency, structural learning, and most of all, true motivation to engage actively in communication with that language. And these qualities, a lot of students in the Erasmus program lack, because it's not a secret that a lot of them prioritize socializing and social activities over their academic work, which is clearly showed in the grades. Supposedly, an Erasmus is an opportunity to achieve academic excellence in the context in an international context, but instead it's more of an escape from the strenuous years of a degree. Also, more often than not, it disrupts the academic trajectory of a student, since depending on the courses and the partner institutions, credits don't always transfer seamlessly, and this can lead to delays in graduation. In conclusion, although the Erasmus program may present valuable opportunities for some students, it's not a a universal solution for all students, and the notion that it's the only way to grow academically and personally is very narrow-minded and does not adequately address the complex realities of student life. We must recognize that growth and learning in the academic context can be achieved through various means, both within one's home country and abroad. Also, a student's set of experience should not be judged based solely on one program. And for these reasons, I believe that an Erasmus exchange is not a must-have experience. I expect that you will vote accordingly to what you believe is right, and with that, I conclude my opposition. Sorry. Thank you very much.